So the next question is going to be, how does WA systems affect students?
Okay, now this WA system has been around for quite a while, but it's a new direction that's what MOE is trying to do, which is to reduce the exam stress for kids. And therefore, we can understand the direction, why is it actually going this way. However, it comes with a big problem. And that is like, for example, there are a few problems I can think of straight away. And that is number one. For example, some schools, they have their WA to be full marks is like 20 marks. So 20 marks, half an hour test. So it tests like maybe 4 questions, maybe 20 marks. And quite poor thing for the kids, because imagine you know 1 mark of careless mistake, 2 marks careless mistake. That's like 2 grades difference, for some people. So it can be quite demoralizing in that sense. Like, they actually know everything, they study for it, but the A's are not showing up. Yeah. So that can be quite demoralizing in that sense. But that's the game that we're in. So the system that we're in right now. So we have to learn to manage and also let the students and the parents understand. And the second problem is that WAs are mini tests. So 1 or 2 topics at one go at one time. So it may turns out giving the students a false sense of security. You see, on one hand, it may demoralize the student because it's a too small a test. On the other hand, it may mislead students into thinking that they are very good because it's a small test. So because the student may do quite well for these 2 topics and the next 2 topics, because after all, studying for 2 topics doesn't sound too demanding. But then by the time they go for the final exam, and that's when for the first time, in the whole year, they sit down for 1.5 hour or maybe 2 hours to do a long paper that's like 100 marks, like so many questions, and all the topics combined for the whole year. That's when the true quality of their standard will show up. But then that is when they get the shock of their life as well. And you can imagine the kind of disappointment if, oh, my WA1 was A1, WA2 A1, WA3 also A1. My final exam, I barely passed. It's quite demoralizing for a student to go through that. And the parents must be asking a lot of questions like, what do you do? Why are you studying? And it's not fully the student's fault in that sense, because it's just got sense of security because of all the little tests. So these are the kind of system that we're in right now.